Okay? So it's almost like a reciprocity where, because Dante loves Beatrice so much, Beatrice has to come help him now. But this goes against the very idea of God, okay? So what's happening here is two possibilities. The first possibility is that Virgil is just lying, okay? But he's not really lying. He's just misinterpreting what's going on. God will always come to you if you truly want God to come. Okay? Because God is all generous. And so Dante, his heart is calling out for God, and God sends Beatrice without any conditions. And God sends Beatrice because God understands that Beatrice is the person who can most help Dante. Okay? There's no reciprocity here. But when Beatrice tells Virgil this, Virgil misinterprets this idea to mean that there's reciprocity going on, okay? So it's not really lying, but it shows you the limitations of Virgil's worldview, where in the Iliad, it's all about reciprocity, okay? It's all about contract. It's all about duty, okay? So that's the first possibility. But another possibility is that Beatrice understands the limitations of Virgil, and so just tells Virgil what he wants to hear, or structures this in a way that Virgil can understand, okay? Because if Beatrice says to Virgil, I came to help Dante because Dante needs help, Virgil will be like, well, okay, he needs help, but why help him? And so Beatrice doesn't want to spend time explaining to him that the universe is all forgiven. So she just says, okay, well, it's because he helped me in the past. It's because of his love for me that I'm able to go to heaven. Okay? All right? So already in the beginning, we have to question the authority of Virgil. Okay? Virgil is an unreliable guide. And for us to truly enter paradise, for us to truly discover God, we need to recognize he is unreliable ourselves. Dante will never tell us, but he'll give us clues to suggest that he is unreliable. And we must reject him if we are to fully embrace God. Okay? All right, let's continue. All right, so Virgil is taking Dante into hell. And Virgil emphasizes to Dante, this is a path that we must take if we are to go into paradise. You must first confront evil. You must first understand sin for you to truly understand goodness. Okay? All right. And so when they get there, there's a river that blocks their path into hell. And there is a ferryman named Charon from Greek mythology who will take them across the river. But the problem is that Dante is still living. And Charon sees that. And he says to Dante, there's a problem here. I can't take you across because you're a living soul and you're not dead. So I can't give you access to hell. Okay? All right, can you read, Ivory?
And here, advancing towards us in a boat, an aged man, his hair was white with years, was shouting, "Woe to you, corrupted souls! Forget your hope of ever seeing heaven. I come to lead you to the other shore, to the eternal dark, to fire and frost. And you approaching there, you living soul, keep well away from these. They are the dead." But when he saw I made no move to go, he said, "Another way and other harbors, not here, will bring you passage to your shore. A lighter craft will have to carry you." My guide then, "Charon, don't torment yourself. Our passage has been willed above, where one can do what he has willed, and ask no more." Now silence fell upon the woolly cheeks of Charon, pilot of the livid marsh, whose eyes were ringed about with wheels of flame.
Okay, so Charon doesn't want to take Dante across because Dante is still living. But when Virgil says to him, "Hey, let us pass," Charon obeys, okay? And this is a paradox. So let me explain the paradox to you. Again, the thing about Dante is that he's so subtle and it's written in a perfect manner. So the more you try to understand what's going on, the more truth will be revealed to you. So the paradox is this. They are in hell, and they are in hell because they've rejected God. Okay? And how we know they've rejected God is this sentence. Woe to you corrupted souls, forget your hope of ever seeing heaven. Okay? So you can interpret this as saying that Sharon is saying to people, this is all hopeless. Okay? But another way of interpreting this is Sharon is saying to all these souls, you are here because you believe God has abandoned you. You believe there is no God. You believe there is no heaven. You believe you deserve to be here. That's why you're here. Okay? But then he sees Dante, and he knows that Dante doesn't believe this. He is actually going to heaven. And so Dante is a corruption. And so Sharon doesn't want to take Dante across. But then Virgil says, hey, God has ordered Dante to be crossed. And then Sharon obeys. The paradox is this. Sharon himself doesn't believe in God. That's why he's in hell. He rejects the authority of God. Yet he obeys God. So that makes absolutely no sense. This is a paradox. Unless you remember that what matters is the speaker, okay? So Virgil is the one who is speaking, okay? So in other words, Sharon is not obeying the authority of God, he's obeying the authority of the speaker, who is Virgil. And this suggests to us that Virgil is the master of hell. And then the question then is, well, why is he master of hell? And the answer is because he created hell through the Ennead, right? Ennead is a poetry that emphasizes piety, obedience. It emphasizes how love is a disease. It emphasizes the importance of hatred as a power to destroy your enemies. It emphasizes empire. So, in other words, Virgil, through the Ennead, created emotions in human beings that allow for the creation of hell itself. You can also argue that with the Ennead, Virgil created the conditions for the Catholic Church. The Catholic Church is not based on the Bible, it is based on the Ennead. Okay? So, again, this is not apparent in the poetry. But once you understand that Dante is conveying his truth through paradox, and you try to unravel this paradox, then the truth slowly reveals itself to you. Okay? All right, let's continue. All right. Can you read, Ivory? Oops, sorry.
The demon Sharon, with his eyes like embers, by signaling to them, has all embark. His oar strikes anyone who stretches out. As, in the autumn, leaves detach themselves, first one and then the other, till the bow sees all his fallen garments on the ground. Similarly, the evil seed of Adam descended from the shoreline one by one, when signaled, as the falcon, called, will come. So do they move across the darkened waters, even before they reach the farther shore, new ranks already gather on this bank. My son, the gracious master said to me, those who have died beneath the wrath of God, all these assemble here from every country, and they are eager for the river crossing because celestial justice spurs them on, so that their fear is turned into desire. No good soul ever takes his passage here. Therefore, if Sharon has complained of you, by now you can be sure what his words mean.
Okay, so two words that you will see a lot in Dante are will and desire, okay? Will and desire. Because will and desire together create your soul, okay? So in Divine Comedy, you will see these two words, will and desire, repeated a lot. You are what you want and what you move towards, okay? That's ultimately your soul. And what this is telling us is that people are evil because people obey, okay? Duty, okay? So this image is where the people line up obediently and do as they're told. They don't question why this is happening. They don't resist why this is happening, okay? Their will and desire is to move towards hell. They are not in hell because they did bad things. Everyone does bad things. They're in hell because they desire to be in hell. Okay? And it's something that Virgil says. Their fear is turned into desire. They're entering hell because they want to do so. And this is a really important idea if you are to understand Dante. Free will is a fundamental truth of the universe. You do what you do because you choose to do it. You're in hell not because you did bad things. You are in hell because you think that hell is the best place for you. You're happy in hell. Okay? All right.